Okay, guys. Sometimes I get started and I forget. What we've done now is we've come back in. Remember my dry brush technique, okay? And we've dry brushed in some granite gray. And this, you can put this directly on your towel to help you with your dry brushing, because this is extreme dry brushing. Okay, and you can see what it does. Now we're getting ready to come back in on that red again and do the same thing, okay? But we want the surface of the brick to be predominant color, but we want to get these little grays and weatherings. Now, if you can see, I came up here on this upper stone and dry brushed that in, and you see how that dry brush effect brings that out to like a stone. I wish this white balance wasn't the way it was on this foam, because you'd really be able to see it. Now watch how it brings the edges of the brick out. Hopefully that's showing up. And I am very lightly holding it above, but I'm just moving at a quick pace. Okay, now another thing to remember is these brick lines and the grout in between the brick is extremely shallow. So your dry brushing is a technique that you really need to learn, because what that does, let's see, let's get the underside of this stone here, see? On this ledge. See how it's bringing those raised edges and getting them white and used? And making it look like real stone. Weathered, chunked out, old. Let's go back over to the sink and clean our brush. As you go, you know, your happiness of just being able to be sloppy is your first 3 or 4 bases of color. After that, you need to use a lighter stroke. And then if you notice, I've only used this one brush. I haven't used any fine detail art brushes. I do own those. But I don't use them all the time. Now I done set my fat butt down and didn't get my brick red. Hold on. This kitchen is a mess right now. Let's see here. Now, we're going to take this brick red. We're going to set it right there. It's not going to hurt nothing. And I'm going to reach in there and I'm going to get just the tips of my bristles. Come back over here onto my towel and get a large amount of that done. Then I'm going to come back in. And then I'm going to go back over these areas. Okay? Where I've lost a lot of detail. And this is a very dark color. Your darker colors are going to be dominant colors. So you don't want to be too liberal. But you see how that's bringing that back out. But I'm still leaving a little bit of that gray that I dry brushed in black. Now, like I said, it's not going to look the same here as it does in person because of the white balance of this foam. And I apologize, guys, for not having a $4,000 Canon camera and a big, huge suite and all this other stuff, because you know what? I don't do YouTube to get paid. I never did. A lot of the airsoft guys that knows a lot of my airsoft videos, you guys can use these techniques to weather your guns too. And they'll tell you, you know, I never did this to get rich. And I got out of YouTube for a while. And you're going to get little pieces of your masonry break off like that. That's no big deal. That's just going to add to the authenticity look of it, okay? So now we're pretty much to a point now to where I'm going to start adding in. And that was just to bring a little bit of the red brick back. Okay, now we're going to go back over, wash this brush out. And I'm going to have to cut this one short so I can go find the color I need. And we'll go from there, and I'll show you bringing in all these other colors.